Welcome everybody. We are taking a very first look at Total Tank Simulator. I literally just installed and booted up the game, so I can't tell you anything more than what you're about to see and what I've been given. This is a game that has been shared with me and with many of others. I'm sure some of you have already seen this game on YouTube. Today is the first day that I'm allowed to share anything with you. So I want to just real quickly break down a little bit of what it is that we're about to see and what this game is going to be all about. This is a handcrafted, physics-based World War II battle game that's going to launch later this year, and I believe today is the day that they are launching, or they're announcing the launch date for the game, which I actually don't know when that is, but I will post it in the description below. It's historically accurate content with destructible environments with a battlefield that is yours to control. Hundreds of weapons and classified units. Tactical action-packed battles with infantry, tanks, planes, and more. 3 complete game modes. Sandbox, Shadow, and Campaign. There are 6 different nations available to play. There's the USA, the UK, Germany, France, Poland, and the USSR. And we'll talk a little bit more about this as we get into it. This is actually produced by an indie development studio called Noobs from Poland. So I'm excited about this. I'm excited to take a look at what this has to offer. And we're going to dive into a couple of different modes now. There are only limited amounts of the game that are actually available to us right now. And we're going to dive right into the tutorial first. So we're going to look at each one of these tutorial aspects and just see what happens. Obviously, as usual, you've got the typical unit controls, WA, S, and D. Okay, so in the preview mode of the game that I have, we can actually look at the USSR Campaign Act 1 and 2, Germany Campaign Act 1, and we can look at Sandbox mode for the USSR and Germany only, which is what you saw there at the beginning. So let's actually go ahead and look at a little bit of the campaign and see what it has to offer. We've got Germany here. So Germany is a land offensive faction. They are focused on advanced tanks that are also more expensive. Okay, so the German invasion of Poland is actually what we're going to do. And I guess we'll put it on normal mode to start. I've got to put my name in here. All right, let's get started. Act 1, Germany, September 1939. Hello, Herr General. Not Erwin Rommel. He's even speaking German. I love it. Okay, now go find something to kill. All right. I like the German. This is an offensive act. You start here. Your goal is to finish in as few moves as possible. This is the final mission. You have to reach it and win a specified number of moves in order to win the entire act. Okay. So we take a look and we see what we've got as far as it's a death match. Cash limit 6,000. So I guess we get to choose what we spawn. And their research points. Okay, cool. Okay. So I guess now we get a sense of what we're up against. Team deathmatch. Kill all the enemies to win the battle. Got a church and a cemetery. He's got some artillery back here. Alright, seems simple enough. Not that I have any idea whatsoever what I'm doing. Hold shift to remove units. Team deathmatch. Okay. So we need to spawn some things here, no? We've got some Stuka dive bombers. I feel like that's really the way I want to go with this, but I've got a limited amount of available resources, so we've got to be careful. So we're going to spawn a few tanks, I think, to start here. So it looks like we actually have to be, what, inside this area here to do this? I guess anywhere inside, this is our square right here, and that's the enemies there. So seems like this is probably the place to go out in this open area here. So we're going to place some light tanks. I've got actually quite a bit of available resources here. Let's get a couple of artillery pieces going. I'm actually going to try to keep everything as close together as I can. I think we're going to throw some riflemen in over here. They're each 10. And we're going to send them to deal with some of those other areas. And I definitely want a couple of Stukas. I don't know, let's start with that. And then see how it goes. Oh, they're just going to fly right into things, aren't they? Ooh, boy. I guess I should have spent a little more. I didn't spend all of my points, so I don't think I really have the ability to control anything. I didn't realize that. I thought it was one of those things where I could just kind of keep spawning things as we went along. It doesn't appear to be the case, and my tanks got lit up. And my Stukas are still out there, though. I don't think he's got any way to deal with those. So here's a tactical view. Backspace. Are my planes being shot at? Is that what's happening here? Now he's taking out my artillery. Yeah, this is not going to go well for me. I should have spent everything. I certainly didn't do that because I thought I'd be able to do that later. My men are all running. Looks like they're trying to get inside this house. Whoa, hey. Just getting used to the controls here. Is that dude on a parachute? Did he come from one of the Stukas? Oh, they just blew the house up. Oh, man. This is brutal. Yikes, there comes his artillery. So let's look at things for a second here. I'm actually I'm set to good graphics quality. You can go down to potato, and you can go as high as fantastic. We're gonna try things on beautiful, I think. I don't know if it'll do that while we're currently in this. We may have to come back to it, but I like that one of them's called potato. That's kind of awesome. So we're obviously not gonna win this because I had no idea what I was doing to deploy. So I think we'll surrender and try it again. Alright, so that was ugly, and I actually I have more money now because I guess it gave me the difference of what I didn't spend there at the beginning. So I'm actually looking here, in addition to the map, where you can see Germany Act 1, my rank is Lieutenant, and my name there, we've got the tech tree, where we can actually research areas. Okay, only certain things are available in Act 1, but then obviously we get upgrades from there. So, for example, we can go from the Stuka up to the Junker 88s. We can go to the BF 110s, and then the HE 111s. That's pretty awesome. Let's look at our ground units for a minute. We've got Panzer 1Bs, Panzer 1B kamikaze tank. So Panzer 2s, Panzer 3s. So you can see all of those. Infantry-wise, there's really not a lot. We can just add snipers. And then officers. So Konstantin Schmidt. Every couple of seconds, the officer casts a bonus on nearby friendly units. And then we've actually got the ability to recruit up to 4 officers that we can place. And you can see each of their kind of bonuses and how much they cost to recruit. I don't know if Alexander Bauer, I kind of wish his name was Jack. That'd be kind of awesome. Sure, let's go ahead and recruit an officer. Alright, and then we can see he's on foot. He can be in a Kubelwagen, which I guess costs another 500. I don't think we need to do that yet. You have to buy the vehicle to use one. You have to unlock the vehicle in the tech tree first. Eventually we can put them in other things. You can upgrade their bonuses. That's cool. So there's really a lot of depth here, even as I'm just now looking at this for the first time. You can look at your infantry units and see what they've got. So he's got the Gewehr 43, a Luger, a knife, hand grenade, the potato masher, a med kit, and a Molotov cocktail apparently. And so that's pretty neat. So let's go ahead and maybe make a couple of upgrades before we dive back into this. Let's get some snipers. Not entirely sure how we go about researching these things. So you have to actually have research points, and I don't have any. I've got 0. You unlock research points. You spend research points on unlocking new units in the tech tree. You gain research points by winning battles, which we haven't done yet. So let's retry and see if we can win this thing and do it right. Okay, so now we know a little better what we're doing. So let's go ahead and... So this is a filter view. All right, let's see. Let's see what we're up against. Let's get the Panzer tanks going again, but this time, let's actually have enough of them to do something. We can still only spend 6,000. And I'm going to do the artillery again. Can't spend too much on that stuff. We'll go ahead and do the riflemen again, but I think I'm going to throw them over here. I probably should have given them some artillery support. Maybe we can still do that. Give them at least a couple. I still want to have that air power because I know he doesn't have any. We can put our officer and we'll put him over there with the artillery, or the infantry. Can't do any kind of headquarters, which is too bad because I would like to have been able to do that. I still want to do maybe let's do 4 of the Stukas, and then I'm going to go ahead and throw a couple of Panzers over here with these guys, and hopefully that's enough to get this done. That gives me 5930, and then I'll throw a few riflemen over here, and that's going to be all we can do. So let's see if this is enough to make this happen. Alright. Interesting. So he's got a lot over here. I may have underestimated what I need on my left side, but we are just dominating this time around. Just kind of poured right through with all of those Panzers. And it looks like leading with the Panzers over here really helped with the allowing the infantry to get through there. Totally different story this time around. We can really zoom down in here and get a close look, which is pretty cool. I don't know if we can change time, show movement directions. So there you can actually see where they're headed. We can do cinematic view, tactical view, or switch units. Yeah, you can do slow motion. So there, we can actually slow things down if we want to. We'll go ahead back to normal speed because we're winning this one handily. There we go. So that was a nice victory. That went pretty well. Second time around, now that I know what I'm doing a little bit. So we used 89 units. We had 7 damaged, 37 lost, but we took out 83 on his side. So now, what does that mean for us? So I've gone back and I restarted the campaign, played the first mission and won it. And now I've come back to the second mission, and instead of what I did before, I'm going to upgrade to a upgraded dive bomber with my technology. I feel like maybe that's what will work better for this particular scenario. Alright, so this will be interesting. I went with a bunch of those dive bombers. I put all of my tanks over here to start, and we're going to actually go down or go look at, you can actually look at the view from an individual unit and see what they're up to, which is pretty cool. We can watch the dive bombing happening. So even now, even though I put those tanks next to the lake, they still seem to want to go into the lake. But this is cool because you can actually see the view from what they're doing. And man, again, it's just not going particularly well for me, which is surprising because our tanks are better than theirs. I guess I just have to load up with a ton of them, because we're about to lose them all. So once again, we're gonna I guess we're just gonna have to rely on our air power to get this done, and that may take a really long time for my air power to deal with all of these units. I don't know that they're gonna be able to do that. Man, I don't know why his tanks are so much stronger than mine. Those are light tanks. But they just owned me completely. Alright, boys, let's do this. Yeah, bunch up. That'd be perfect. Just bunch up in one place. Let my dive bombers just wipe you out. Seems to be working. Seems to be working really well, actually. Oh, yeah! There we go. Now go get... Oh, we already got the artillery. Alright, so thank goodness for German air power. We've got to get some better tanks, though. Ooh, boy. So that time we gained 300 new research points. That'll be really helpful. Get me some better ground units, please. So there we go. Now we got the Panzer II. The health points aren't... See, those Polish tanks had 300 health points. Well, no, they had... That was armor points, was 300. So these have much better armor. All right, I think we're good. I've got 22,000 in money. I'm not going to really worry about upgrading my officer right now. Let's go ahead and deal with this over here. This time there's a little bit more infantry, but I'm not too worried about that. Alright, so this is a wave mission. Survive all waves to win the battle. Now you can only see the first enemy wave right now. So we are in the center and we're defending against waves of enemies, so definitely a different situation this time. These Panzer IIs are a little more expensive, and I want to get them, I guess, as close to the center as we can. I wonder if we get to upgrade between waves. I don't know, because we don't know where he's going to be coming from. So the units will fight for points of interest, as you can see here. Alright, so there's that. Let's go ahead and get some infantry as well. And I don't know if they're better off to go near these buildings, if they'll go inside. If that's the way I want to do this, but we'll go ahead and throw some in. They're relatively inexpensive, so it's not a huge deal if I lose them. And I definitely want some of these upgraded dive bombers. Let's get 4 of them for now. 5. We'll go 5. Alright. Let's hope this does the trick. We have no idea what's up here. Okay, so the first wave, they're over here. Go ahead and get a look on the front lines. No, not him. Oh, we can watch one of our infantrymen doing his thing. Looks like we're going to wipe out wave 1 pretty easily. So obviously we're not dealing with historical tactics and strategies and things like this. This is more of just kind of a fun thing. It's a nice distraction. It's a nice change of pace. We'll take a look after this mission. I think we'll probably go and look at the Sandbox mode and what it has to offer. So now we're headed back the other direction as he's coming in this way. I don't know how many waves there are. There's 3 waves. So this is wave 2. A lot of infantry in wave 2, so I don't think we're going to have too much trouble with them. Whew, the buildings are going kaput. Oh, I don't know why that's moving like that. There we go. So we're going to be down under half strength before this last wave. Finishing off the last of his infantry. There we go. On to wave 3. This will be interesting. Where is it and what is it? Our infantry are going to be closer to this, it seems. Alright, boys, get inside the building, I think. Maybe. Well, no, they'll probably destroy it. You can see they've already destroyed part of it. My Stukas are getting there first. No, these are Junkers, that's right. Now my tanks are starting to get over there. I think we'll be okay. Planes are nice to have. They're running, so I guess we're going to have to wait until we catch up to them and they get to the edge of the map. It's easy right now, but boy, when the enemy starts to have anti-aircraft, that'll be a different story. He's in the pumpkin patch. There he goes. I think we got most of them. One over here, he's trying to get away. Bye-bye. Alright, so we survived. We won that. Survived all the waves. That's our first experience with a wave fight. Alright, victory at Poznan. Another 250 reward points. Obviously, we haven't been promoted yet. Let's take a look here at this screen. Offensive Act versus Poland. So there's Act 2, Act 3, Beyond Sea Lion. Interesting. Operation Barbarossa against the Soviets. Desert Fox is offensive, and Operation Winter Storm. So I guess that's up in Scandinavia. So you can kind of see what we have to look forward to. It seems like there's a big battle here, Kill the VIP, but we're not going to deal with that right now. I do want to show you a little bit of what this game has to offer other than the campaign. So in addition, there's this shadow mode, which isn't currently available, but we do have the Sandbox mode. And you can see here in Sandbox mode, you can choose how long the mission is, you can choose how much money each side gets, you can choose the map that you want to fight on, and there are a ton of different maps available. You could just say pick random map. You can also choose who's fighting. In this case, we only have Germany and the USSR for this preview version. You can do 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2, or free-for-all, which is kind of awesome. And then you can pick how you do this. And I would guess that this is probably going to include a multiplayer, but I'll have to look into that and take a look and find out. Okay, so here you see the free-for-all mode. Everybody gets a quarter of the map. So in building now, you can see everything is unlocked. And one of the things that you can do in these modes is that there are neutral units that can be placed when you're building your own scenarios. So for example, if I place a bunch of neutral units in the center of the map, whoever gets there first controls the neutral units. So that's something that's really cool. You can see how expensive some of these are. We've got tactical bombers, transport planes. Looks like we've got like V2 rockets available to us. You've got spawners, which are these military bases that will spawn additional vehicles, which seems like a really good use of our funds. This one will spawn aircrafts. This one will spawn infantry. So I think I might go with one of these if I can find a place on the map where I can. It doesn't look like there's actually space on the map for an airport, so I guess maybe that's not an option for us. Are these a little smaller? Yeah, they are, but maybe those are not an option on these particular game modes. I don't know. Seems that way. Oh, okay. I was on the wrong place. That might have something to do with it. So we could put a military base back there. So we can actually choose what we deploy and what we allow in each of these, and then just kind of let them fight it out. So that's pretty cool. So that gives you an idea. I just really wanted to take a quick look at it. Let's go over a few more things, and then I'll just kind of let you know my initial thoughts. So I want to change the graphics quality up to fantastic for a minute, and actually go back into another fight just to see how that might make a difference. So we're actually going to do a new one. And we will go ahead and start the USSR campaign. The Red Army opposes the German invasion of the Soviet Union. We're going to begin Act 1. Now, obviously, not everything is currently available in this preview version, and there's a lot that they still kind of have to polish. But you can, I'll put a link in the description below that will take you to the page in Steam for the game itself. Who we got? Marshal Zhukov here? Yep, that's who it is.
Фашисты перешли границу и стремительно приближаются к Москве. Нельзя позволить им захватить столицу.
I love that they're speaking in their own languages. That's kind of cool. So unlike the other one, which was an offensive act, this is a defensive act. And it says that you can actually choose whether or not to fight certain ones. So let's take a look what we're up against. See, now we're going to be facing enemy air power, which obviously is a whole different story. These are both deathmatch. That one's a wave. We're going to fight the deathmatch one first. We've only got 4,500 in available cash this time around. So we're going to fight this. We're going to see how the graphics look a little differently. And you can actually take control of a unit, which is not something I've actually explored yet, but we're going to try to do that here. So let's see how our tanks stack up against theirs. So our BT-5 against his Panzer III. Not so good, honestly. That's the bad news. The good news is they're cheap, so we can build more of them. Now, what about the artillery? That may be something that maybe evens the odds because they've got a really long range. So if we throw some of those way at the back, but they're expensive as heck, so I'm not going to be able to build a lot of these if I expect to survive. We're definitely going to need something against his air power, and I think I'm going to go with fighters to do that. So let's see, my Yak 1 against his Stukas. I guess not so great, but we'll see how they do because those are dive bombers. So we at least want to try to eliminate those so that they're not a threat. He's got 3 planes, it looks like. So maybe we go with 4 of these, I guess. I don't know. Beyond that, we could place mines, which I guess would be helpful since we're playing defensively. We could probably throw some mines in here somewhere. These are only 40. I feel like maybe that's a good idea. Put some over here too. And then on top of that, we could do riflemen. We could just spawn a bunch of tanks. I think that's probably the way we're going to have to go here. And just hope for the best. I have no idea whether or not we're going to be able to do this or not. Alright, first things first, I want to see how these planes do against his dive bombers. Because we've got to take them out. If at all possible. I do want to try and take control of something. Oh, they're going to drive around, so they're not even going to go in there. There we go. So now we get our chance to actually fight. This may end very badly for me. I'm just going to knock these tanks right out of the way, or these trees right out of the way. Oh, hello. Seems like so far we're doing alright. It's hard to say though, for sure. Oh, hello, I got hit. Who's hitting me? Hold T to repair. And too late. Oh, now we're in artillery mode. Okay. Not going so well for my folks. We just nailed a bunch of his infantry, so that was cool. I'm waiting to reload. Hit him, boys. Nobody there. Well, that was unfortunate. Looks like we're just about knocked out of this thing, but it's still fun. Bunch more infantry. That's really kind of all that's in that area. Didn't really mean to fire that one. Who do we got left? Not much, really. Alright, so that didn't go down so well. Dang. Yeah, we're dead. So I've got a couple of tanks left that are kind of hiding over in the distance. I don't really see too many of the enemies, so I don't even know who I'm supposed to be trying to kill at the moment. Looks like there's some folks coming in from this way. I hit him. He's hitting me too. Yeah, not much I can do against those panzers. So one of the things you can do then is you can reject a mission when you're on the defensive. You don't lose anything, but you don't gain anything for a reward either. So if you think you can win, then it's worth it to fight it. But if you don't think you can win, it's better to keep the money and save it up for another fight. So we've got another death match here. But let's see. The other one is also a death match. This time a lot of enemy air power, but they've also got a spawning point, and that's something that's actually new that we haven't seen yet. So let's go ahead and play this one last mission and see what that's like. Okay, so you can see a ton of air power this time for him, and it looks like he's got, they're all fighters. Oh, there's some dive bombers and fighters, so a mix. But back here, there's his spawner, and that thing's just going to pump out units until we destroy it. Now later on they're supposed to be adding the ability to capture those, but I don't think that's available right now in the game as it currently exists. So are there neutral units in this as well? No, okay. I just happened to see that there. So what we really need here is I don't know if these can fight, the artillery can fight against air power or not. And it doesn't appear that they can, so we're going to have to just deal with these guys the best we can. Man, the problem is I don't have that much. I don't know that I'm going to be able to take on all that air power. I might just have to try and do this the old-fashioned way and try to go deal with his ground units as best I can. So I'm going to actually put a bunch of riflemen over in here. And hopefully they can go for that headquarters and take it. I'm not sure if this will work or not. Honestly, I just haven't played enough of this game to really know what can work and what can't. So if we do some fighter planes just to kind of keep these guys occupied, there's no way I can have enough of them to take all these guys on. And I'm just going to throw a bunch of tanks out there and hope for the best. Try to overwhelm him with numbers, I guess. Alright, let's see what happens. I don't expect this to go too well. This time I want to take on the role of one of these infantrymen if I can. Okay. So you can aim down the scope of the gun and everything, that's pretty cool. I have a med kit available to me. Can we run? Yeah, we can run. I'm trying to run to wherever that headquarters is. If I can, I can't even see it. Really, is the problem. I have no idea where it is in relation to where I'm standing at the moment. I think west. Oh boy, there's a tank. That's bad. That's real bad. Can I try and shoot the guy on the back of the tank, or on the top of the tank? I did. I hit him. That was cool. Use the med kit. So we really don't even know what's going on with the battle as a whole. Although it looks like so far it's going okay. I just want to try and find some of his infantry and engage them. Looks like we're catching up to our tanks. Alright, I'm actually going to escape out of this because I want to see... No. I want to see the battle as a whole. It's actually going okay. And it looks like our planes are more than holding their own. I know those are theirs. Mine are all gone. Okay. We took out all his ground units for the most part, but now we've got to deal with the planes, and that's a problem because I don't know that I have a way to shoot them down. Where's his spawning thing? I'm still trying to learn my way around the map. We must have taken it out because I don't see it anymore. Problem is I don't know how we're going to deal with his planes. I just don't see a way for me to do that. Oh, his planes are going to run out of fuel. Oh, of course. That's what happened to my planes before. They eventually run out of fuel and crash. So we just got to wait for them all to crash. It looks like we did the job with everybody else. So you just click on a unit and then you right click and it gives you control of the unit. So that's pretty cool. Looks like we can maybe shoot in the air. I don't know. So there's 3 units left of his. I don't know if those are all air units or if these are ground units that we just haven't caught up to yet. There's only one left. Looks like we're going to win this one. Knock down those planes, or those trees. Where's he at? We're just crashing through everything. I love it. Oh, this is fun. The tank just went right through the church. That's amazing. Yeah! Oh, there you are. That's why he went through the church, because that's where the last German soldier was. That was cool. That was fun. Alright, so let's talk a little bit more about the game as we wrap this up. I've showed you most of what it currently has to offer. According to the information I was given, they're supposed to be announcing a release date. I have not seen that announcement so far, so I would imagine it's probably coming. But they are supposed to be giving that. Right now it just says available sometime in early 2020. So they're going to, looks like it says Thursday, April 23rd, that they would be giving the release date, the player-driven price point, and a full launch feature set. So this is not the full game. This is what's currently available to us. We haven't seen yet what shadow mode is. That'll be available at the game launch. But we have seen a little bit of the campaign and of course what sandbox mode can be all about. You can kind of build things and then just watch and see what happens. But that gives you at least a little tiny bit of a look at a game that's got a lot of promise, Total Tank Simulator. There are other games that are similar to this that have been out there, but I don't know that there's ever been one that has the campaign this one does, that has the attention to kind of historical detail that this one seems to. So let me know your thoughts about it. And if you have more information than I do, please feel free to share that down below. This isn't something I'm going to be really playing a whole lot of. I just wanted to let you be aware of it, and you can check it out for yourself. The link to the Steam page is in the description below. Thanks a lot, guys. We're going to get back to all of our regular series tomorrow, so be watching for those things. We'll see you soon.